Hey guys, so one of the things people often ask about is how they can train around or progress through anterior shoulder pain. So a lot of people get this kind of shooting sensation right here in the front of their shoulder, and we want to kind of think of ways to desensitize that pain or ways that we can just train around it, right? So if we can progress through exercises that will allow us to gradually get back to the things that might provoke the pain. For a lot of people, that usually includes things like going overhead if they're doing a strict press or a thruster or something like that. So something that we can do to maintain shoulder strength as well as help desensitize those symptoms is the landmine press. So Shelby here will demonstrate a landmine press, and something or a couple cues that I like to give people before we get started is to maintain a neutral position here. So for a lot of us, if we take our fingers and we kind of put them on this big bony bump here in the front of our hip and we find our ribs, you'll see that if I put my fingers here and then if I extend back, my fingers kind of splay open. So that's kind of this idea that if Shelby were to keep her fingers here, they should stay nice and packed down. That's just to prevent any low back hyperextension, just because some people will have a sensitive low back if they go into that. So the second thing here is, as Shelby brings this out to the side to press forward, I'm going to advise her not to have her elbow sucked completely to her rib cage. So I don't want her here because that's going to lead her on a path where it's just straight forward. And I'm actually going to suggest that she kind of takes a roundabout way. So for this specific exercise, her elbow will be about 30 degrees out to the side. Now from here, Shelby's going to push up and she's kind of going to create a U shape as she goes forward. Good, and she's going to come back down. Now you'll see again, she'll push up and she leans forward every time she goes up. Now each time she goes forward, you'll see that this allows her to reach about 180 degrees of flexion. You can come back down. As opposed to if she were to just push forward with her arm without leaning forward, she might not get quite as far. And this allows us to progress back to that overhead position without bumping into those sensitive barriers that we might find right now. Now, like I said earlier, if she goes in this U shape instead of straight forward, you'll see here, if I go straight forward rather than kind of a U, half of a U, this is going to allow, go ahead, her shoulder blade to come around and upwardly rotate, which is going to give her shoulder a bit more space and might kind of help ease some of those symptoms she feels in the front of her shoulder. So I'll advise her to go in that half U shape to lean forward, and then as she brings the barbell back down, go ahead and come down. She's going to stop right about even to her rib cage. This is just to prevent her from yanking herself forward here. There's really nothing wrong with going into this position, but for now, for the pain you might be feeling, it might be better to just stop yourself short here and continue your reps. So if you are feeling that anterior shoulder pain, the landmine press is a great option to continue training, to desensitize your symptoms, and to get you back on that track to doing the things you want to do, which is going overhead. So if we can do sets and reps here, we can slowly progress you to get back to strict presses, to thrusters, to pull-ups, to whatever you need to do. So give these a try and let me know how to go.